Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and today we're doing another Sudsy recap. We're going to be talking about General Hospital today. So this past week, General Hospital was pretty good, except I don't know what was going on. I think it might have been because of the World Series or maybe something. Oh, I shaved, by the way, FYI. But there wasn't, I only had like 3 episodes on my TiVo, and I know it's on at the exact same time as Days of Our Lives, and I had 5 episodes of Days of Our Lives. So I'm wondering if they aired the World Series during when it was supposed to be on, and they didn't because if they don't adjust the times on TiVo, if they don't tell you, like if they don't tell the I guess TiVo service ahead of time that they're going to be changing when the show's going to be on, the TiVo service doesn't pick it up. So I don't know if there were. I'm thinking there might have been episodes that aired that I missed. So we'll see what happens. I guess I don't know. It doesn't seem like there was anything that I missed. In fact, if anything, it seems like I fell asleep for or at least some of Days of Our Lives about the whole Orpheus thing. But I don't know what, and I don't think that there was anything that went wrong with General Hospital, but whatever, we'll see. Okay, so one of the things that General Hospital does really, really well is it really uses its own history, because that show's been on the air since 1968, right? So it's close to 40 years of being on the air. So with that being said, maybe it was before 68. It might have been 65. They had a big anniversary show. Might have been their 40th. No, their 50th anniversary. So maybe it was last year. So maybe they started in 65, and One Life to Live started in 68. I know that All My Children started in 1970. That much I know. Whatever. It was before I was born. Okay? There's not much that I can say that happened before I was born, but that was before I was born. Anyways, but what I like about General Hospital is that they have a tendency to delve into their own history and bring it up for great dramatic effect. And this week it did that not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I will go over those 3 times because 2 of the times were very overt, but one time was a little bit more subvert or covert. And I'll explain to you what I mean. So the first time, and they were all in the same episode actually too. So the first time was when we saw Robin Scorpio come back, and we all love Robin. We love us some Robin. We have for the past 30 years. She is daytime's darling. And she came back right as Sonny was about to shoot himself because he's so in his throes of grief over the death of his son, Morgan. So he's in this headspace where he feels like the world would be better off without him. So he was about to kill himself. And Robin was like, hold up. She was like, I didn't know your kid Morgan that well, which that was true because she didn't really know him that well. They weren't in the same storyline, so that makes sense. But she's like, but I do know Stone, who was her, I don't know if he was definitely her boyfriend. I don't know if he was her fiance or her husband or not, but he ended up dying of AIDS in 1995, 6, like around in the 90s, right? And soon afterwards, she got her own diagnosis of having HIV. And she was really, and this was the 90s, this was still, even though they had just come up with the combination cocktail therapy, where everything could be all in one pill, and she actually reaped the benefits of that. It was too late for Stone. He was too far gone. So he ended up dying of AIDS. So her whole point of mentioning Stone, because Stone and Sonny were very close, before Jason Morgan came around, Stone was like Sonny's son, even though Sonny didn't have any children yet. Well, he had Dante, but he didn't know about it, but that's another story. Okay, anyways, so, she was like, for you to take your life that you have and just end it would be the stupidest thing, because someone like Stone would fight for his life to have one more day, and I mean, that whole speech, I was crying. I was like, yes, you're right, Robin. Good for you. And she talked him down. She talked him off the ledge. But, And maybe she was guilting him into it. Maybe she was, using Stone, but she had a very legitimate point, So but the only thing that really would have, well, okay, we'll talk about this in a second. So the other time that General Hospital used its history very well this week was when Griffin was having issues with Charlotte, and he didn't know if he needs to take care of Charlotte and blah, blah, blah. He's questioning whether he'd be a good father. And Anna, Robin's mother, basically said, look, here's the thing. I can't tell you if you're going to be a good father or not. I think you'll be a good father. I think you'll be a great father, actually, but you have to believe that you'll be a good father. Either way, you need to decide what is best for your child and what's going to happen. Are you going to walk away from your child and put her in the arms of maybe someone else that can give her a good life? Or if she doesn't end up having a good life, are you going to feel guilty about that? I mean, you need to start thinking about these types of things. And she's like, I'll tell you, let me just give you some words of wisdom from my experience. She's like, I had a little girl named Robin, and I gave her up for the first 5 years of her life. And she knew me. I saw her occasionally. She didn't know I was her mother until she was around 5. And she called me Love, which was her dad, Robert Scorpio's nickname for me. So, I mean, and I never told her that, and it was just, and she's like, and I took her when she was 5, and every day I missed those first 5 years, I regret it, Okay. Again, now I wasn't crying on that one, but I was close to crying. So first of all, cheers to Kimberly McCulloch and Finola Hughes for amazing performances, right? And not just that, but also Matt Cohen and Maurice Bernard for receiving those good performances, right? So they did really, they were really good. The only thing that I felt would have helped those scenes have a little bit more of a dramatic punch would have been if they just aired some clips from that time, right? Some clips between Sonny and Stone. Some clips from Robin when she was a little girl calling Anna Love. Just some of those clips would have really helped underscore the moment. Okay, so then here's the third time that they delved into their history, which was very, very subtle. So if you weren't watching back then, or if you weren't paying too close of attention, you would kind of miss it. But Bobby, and God bless Bobby, she's been on that show for forever. She comes on, and right away she's suspicious of Nell. And she says, wow, you've certainly become indispensable to Carly, haven't you? And this is why that was shady. But it was good because it was actually playing on Bobby's history with Carly. Because when Carly first came to town, right? Because let's not forget, Carly's real name is Caroline Benson. And then she had a friend named Carly Roberts who died in a car accident. She took her identity, basically. And Caroline Benson was Bobby's kid. So that's why Bobby, when she first came to town, Bobby didn't know that was her own kid, because her kid was named Caroline. This bitch is named Carly. Carly came and made herself indispensable to Bobby, and also helped herself to Bobby's husband. But right away, Bobby can see, okay, fool me once, shame on me, but fool me twice, shame on you, So she was like, okay, yeah, I see you're pretty, and Nell was very perplexed, like, okay, like, all right. But apparently next week we'll see something from Nell's past that will make us all question whether or not, she's doing, any good for anyone. There were a couple of scenes. There was a scene with Brian Craig, who plays Morgan. So Morgan came back. This was when a drunken vision of Sonny, this is what I think led Sonny to kill himself, or to attempt to kill himself, was, Morgan dressed as a zombie saying, I came back, Dad, I came back, and that was also tear-jerking as well. So at the very end of the week, Valentine Cassadine showed up, and then we're like, okay, well, what's going on now? So that was at the very end of last week. So we'll see what happens. Um, Anyways, thank you so much for logging on. I do appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter at Angel Benton, hashtag GH if you want to talk General Hospital. Tomorrow is the last night that I'll be doing Real Housewives of Orange County before Vanderpump Rules starts the following week. And the next day I'll be doing Bold and Beautiful. So thank you for logging on. Have a wonderful day and have a great week. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.